Thaisa, did you check it YouTube if it's working? Please, can you tell me? Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our sacred space. I'm so happy to finally be here. Um, 1 second. They say it's not working on YouTube. Let me check. It is online. Yes, it shows for me that it's working. Thaisa, can you check and tell me, please, if it's working on YouTube? It's nice, Karenina. Nice to have you here. Just let me. Today I'm using a different app because I have slides going on. So I want to make sure it's working. Apparently it is working. So let's go. Let's start over now. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our virtual safe space. I'm so happy to be here today for this workshop. I put a lot of love and effort and even prepare some slides because it's very special, everything you're going to go through today. I'm Milla Dalbem. I'm a senior feminine specialist, and my goal here is to make you love being a woman at any phase of your life, at any um, at any phase of your life, at any phase of your cycle, and to deeply and truly love yourself. A lot of women say, "Oh, I do love myself," but do you really love you? Do you really treat yourself as someone that loves yourself? That is a very tricky thing. So, here we are to learn a little bit more and more and more and more how to love ourselves, how to make peace with our um, how to make peace with our body, with our cycle, with our life, and how to create peace and harmony because we are women, not trying to be somebody else, not trying to fit in a universe that was made for men's. Basically, here we are here to start changing it a little bit more. I want to start showing uh, something that was very special. It's a video that Paloma made for me. She's a very great videographer, and I want to show with some other women that have been working in the past.
So
Let me see.
competitive. Wait a moment.
Does anyone
I
can
use it to be so competitive. Wait a moment. This was a huge healing for me. And
you that
we've
watching
learned
online
about
on
this
YouTube? Can you hear?
competition between. Liberdade. Literalmente. Parece que eu saí de uma caixa que eu nem sabia que eu tava. E tá muito mais leve pra prosseguir, entende? It's like going back in the womb. Because I can look at the mirror and see aesthetically like I'm beautiful, but do I really love myself? Safety. You feel safe as you are. I feel so powerful. I feel so much self-love. I was looking for the self-love. Teve a oportunidade de estar nessa energia, de estar nessa força feminina. A mulher que eu era no anterior já não existe mais. É algo que está transformando, que está me transformando por inteiro, assim. Eu me permito ser quem eu sou. E todas as etapas que esse processo chama.
Yeah, this video it is from woman that has been part in our sacred feminine journey. but more specifically on in-person events. And now I'm just starting to put myself out. Um, I'm just putting myself out in this online content, and I really prepare everything with much love. So I want to share a little bit about my story and why am I here? What happened that it brought me here? Um, like you, I always searched for a safe relationship, a relationship where I felt I would feel comfortable, safe, secure. I would feel sure that I would feel good inside this. 1 second. Mari said that she's not seeing on YouTube. There is more people watching YouTube, Mari. Try again the link because it's interesting to watch by the YouTube because it has slides today. So again, try by your phone. From here, for me, it shows like it's online. It shows that everything's all set. Okay. So I will share a little bit of my story and why am I here? Why am I sh- why did I create this journey as we've been calling, like a journey for become a sacred woman, a journey to get back and create a connection with our body, with our especially with our cycles. Um and like, to see on YouTube, you should had signed up to be in the Maya, you can also go out of the live, check on the stories. There is a link for the YouTube over there. Forgot. I so as you, I always wanted to have a safe relationship. And I noticed that not knowing my menstrual cycle and not having a relationship with my own body was affecting my relationship. But I didn't knew that at first. That was something that I learned on the way. I always wanted to feel confident. I was a woman that even though people say I am good looking, I never really felt that I was good looking. I always doubted that people were saying this for making me happy or to please me. I all the time that I would look in the mirror, I would see um, things that I would disapprove, that I wouldn't like about myself. And I always wish I could not feel intimidated by other women when I was in a space. Let's suppose I was going out for a hangout, a barbecue, anything like this, and another woman would just come into the space. That would be a huge problem, especially if this woman was new for me, and even worse if she was pretty. Because my self-confidence was so low. I had so many weird feelings about competition, about not trusting another woman, that I would just start freaking out and create problems, especially if I was in a relationship and especially if the person I was involved with were at the same space. But I always wanted inside of me, inside my soul, I always had this feeling, this desire of I will change that. I don't want to feel that. I also didn't had any connection with my body. Whatever whatever I would look in the mirror, I could be fat, I could be slim, it doesn't matter. I was always feeling disconnected. I was always feeling bad with my body. And I was always judging a woman. But all those things were things that I really wanted to get rid of. But where it always started, where all those weird feelings about another woman, about myself being a woman, where it always started. I was like coming down and coming the past on my mind to try to check where it all started. And I realized that my first memories about my relationship with my dad, he was like my dad was someone very not present, and not and also was a cop. He was very, very inside patriarchy. And every time he would get home, I needed to serve him. So I have memories that as soon as he got home, I would need to bring his flip-flops and put it in front of him when he was going to he would just get home, sit in the chair at the table in the kitchen or the living room, and I needed to bring his t-shirts, I needed to bring his flip-flops, and they created on me started to create on me this feeling like I do not want to be treated as a maiden just because I'm a woman. Uh, I had this confused feelings that started to build up this feeling inside of me, like I don't want to be a because I don't want to have to serve a man. I don't want to need to please somebody else as a maiden. Uh, and then when I was around 12 years old, my dad passed away. And as soon as my dad passed away, I started basically to live at the streets. I was raised by my friends that would be also live like we were living with more freedom, I would say that. My mom was in depression and she was dealing with so many things after my dad passed away. And I had a lot of freedom and it would be a lot by myself. I really was raised with lot freedom. And that brought to me that I kind of like learned on a very teenager and young adult age. I I really was how can I say? I learned everything that was happening in the background from the masculine universe. And I made a choice on the moment, a choice that I really didn't want it to be the little woman that would be fooled by. Because, young boys on a young age, and I was confused as well. So that all built it up on me, this feeling of competition with another women, because I knew all the lies that a man would tell. I knew all the strategies they would use for fool a woman. And all those things built it on me, this feeling like I don't want to be a woman. What happened to me? I started to activate my masculine energy. And even though I'm a woman, I started to play my life much more as a man than as a woman. And of course, this little girl that didn't had a very strong paternal figure that was raised with so many other guys. Of course, I was looking for safety, and I got married. As soon as I got married, I realized that we were living in different polarities. And that happened to me, but it happens to so many other women who is married. The woman plays on the masculine energy while the man will play in the feminine energy. And what happened when we are in this polarity? A woman, like that was what was happening to me. I was a person taking actions, taking decisions, doing all the things, while he was there, like just waiting me to take a decision. Um, that interferes in many, many, many things. Will interfere in our libido. They interfered on how I was seeing life. A woman that when she's not on her feminine energy, it's very hard for this woman to find the purpose in her life. So I was not feeling happy at all. And even though I was trying to get pregnant, and guess what? All the doctors would tell me that I couldn't get pregnant because I had, polycystic ovarians. I had many other diseases on my reproductive system, and they were always just giving me medicines, and when I told them I wanted to get pregnant, they just changed the medicines, but never really helped it. None of those medicines ever brought me a solution. They were just masking all my symptoms. And after a few years living in the wrong polarity, trying to get pregnant and not being able to, one day I found out that I wasn't happy, and the consequence was that I divorced. When I divorced, um, as soon few like a year after my divorce, I made a trip for Amazon and then I moved to USA. Right after I moved to USA, I got pregnant. And how did I got pregnant? After years and years and years trying to get pregnant with no success and with no success, and like I really thought I couldn't get pregnant because some doctors told me I couldn't, even though I made treatment, many of them told me I couldn't get pregnant. And then as soon as I got in USA, surprise, I got pregnant. It all happened together. I got pregnant. Um, as soon as my kid was born, they already put me on IUD without even asking me if I wanted. I mean, they asked it, they made me to sign a paper. But you know, a woman when she's about delivery, her brain is like a clog. We don't think properly. We don't we just have this many hormones in our brain that we literally become zombies, animals. We're just trying to survive and to make sure our our kid will survive as well. So I signed up, and I signed up. I ended up leaving the hospital with IUD inside my body. So I barely had time to get my womb healing from the surgery because I had a C-section. I already have IUD inside. And the situation that I was living with my kid's um, father was horrible. It was very, very toxic. Like he was like we had this situation. Like I got pregnant, but he also had someone else. Um, I don't want to talk about it here, but it was a very, very toxic situation. And think I was a woman that I was an immigrant. I was alone in a different country. A lot of transformations in my body because I just like had years or years thinking I could get pregnant, uh, in a condition of non-health. Suddenly, I got pregnant. I was in a different country. I was by myself, and then I had a baby, and then they put IUD on me. So many things, like, and I was trying to like decide what I was going to do because I needed to be by myself because I couldn't live in the situation I was living. And without any support, I decided that was done. It had this moment in my life that was like, I am done. I am done. I can't, I can't. It's not possible that life is about it. It's not supposed that life is about struggling and struggling and struggling and struggling and going through one situation by another situation by another situation, a problem right after another problem, and not in the feeling like very deep inside of me that was not worthy, that was not good enough, that I could everything I was doing was wrong. And with all the variations from the hormones from pregnancy, that was chaotic. But I am very, very grateful that it happened in my life because then my transformation started. It started in a very bad way because I was literally having suicidal thoughts, like with all this disconnection from my body, all this disconnection from I didn't had anyone, like, I didn't had a sisterhood, I didn't had any support in my life, I didn't had any. Nowadays, I sometimes I even don't understand how that was possible. But as soon as I got at the bottom of this situation, like, it had to a moment that I didn't had anywhere else to go besides really trying something different. And after I fight against suicide thoughts, the first thing that I did was removing my ID. And I got so mad at some point that I ended up having that inside my body, kind of without the proper information about it. They only offered to me, they never discussed it about it with me. I just they just told me, "Oh, let's put eggs so you don't get pregnant again." And I was so afraid of about getting pregnant again that I just put in. I was extremely afraid, and that's what the industries does. They make you afraid so you can be controlled, so you don't think, so you don't give time to you don't give time to yourself to make a better decision, to think about your options. You just take whatever they are offering to you. And it happened again on the same time. As soon as I decided that I was going to change, many other things happened in my life. Spirituality came into my life, and with some help from spirituality, and with some help of another friend. By the way, Maya is watching me. Um, Thank you for bringing me Kellen, which was our teacher. She was our teacher. She's still uh, my master about sacred feminine. And then I decided to start studying. Even though my life was extremely hard, I was still dealing with suicidal thoughts and depression. I was still trying to find a place in the universe, but I did start studying sacred feminine. And also, as soon as it started, I started to learn about how women can help. And literally, I feel like it was saved by women's support in this moment. Another thing that happened at this time was that I decided to leave the place of being a victim from my problems and to become a leader for my own path. So I decided that I would not be crying over the situations I was living, and I was going to plant seeds over my way, so I could come and harvest those seeds in the future. So really deciding to not be a victim, but creating a new path for myself. And when we studied about our hormones and about our variations of moods, especially because of our hormones, it's a way to live in this place of victim, to be victim, to be leader, because you start to plan your life. You start to. It's not like you know that you're gonna suffer in a few days from PMS. You know that will come, and you get already ready for it. You change your environment so you prepare yourself for this. And what happened that I decided to share it all with you all? First, no woman deserves to be alone. No woman deserves to be alone. No woman deserves to go through motherhood alone. No woman deserves to go through depression by herself. Like as humans, and especially as women, we are naturally community builders. It is very helpful for a woman to be inside a community, to be together with other women. Sisterhood save lives. And I can tell you, because when I was very bad, um, thinking on suicide, he had a woman sitting on my couch every single day, just watching movies with you. So I could so the time could pass and maybe I wouldn't think on bad things. So I'm really grateful for all the women that I have in my life since Sacred Feminine got into my life. Because before this, I would dislike every woman because I would feel that I had to compete with them. I would feel less. I would feel not worthy, not pretty, not good, not enough comparing myself to another woman. And with Sacred Feminine, learn from inside out how to become confident, how to become uh, the owners of our body, the owners of our life, the owners of our situation. So since you start to become better from inside, you create better relationships around you. And then it opens space in my life so women could start getting into and I could get into other women's life. And now, so the other reason I'm here to share all this content with you is because lack of information about women's health is killing women. Do you know that it's a very high number of women that dies because they are on contraceptive? No one tells them. There's many, many women that has like in Portuguese we would say AVC, which is like it's like a clock on the brain. Uh, it's like a clock on the brain that women would just like die. When I was in college, I had 2 girls from my age that died, passed away because they had a clot, on their brain. It just died, and they were on contraceptives. So it's really high, the number of women dying because of a system. I'm not a stroke. Thank you, Nachi. Stroke. Thank you, Karenina. Many women die every year because of a stroke because they are on contraceptives, because they are on pills. Also, women are they also get pregnant without planning. That happened to me because of lack of information and many other things happens in a woman's life just because of lack of information. And I also want to share that you're not crazy, you are cyclical. That's why that was made all the difference also in my life because I heard so much that was crazy, especially when I was married. Like men, they don't understand these mood swings that we go through, but they don't understand because also women don't understand, so we can teach them about it. So I really want you to learn and to understand that you're not crazy, you are cyclical. Okay, woman? And I want to start our journey, and we're gonna start with a meditation. I invite everyone to find a comfortable position. Maybe for you, it's the first time you're gonna do something like this, and I know it can be different. I know it can be challenging, but we're gonna visit our womb. So I invite everyone to close your eyes, to find a comfortable position. You can sit or you can lay down. So just checking. I invite everyone to take 3 deep um, breaths. You're gonna breathe in, and you're gonna exhale doing noise. Remember that our throat is very similar to our cervix, so it's very powerful release emotions from our reproductive system when we produce sounds in our in our when we are putting the air out. One more time. Now I want you to scan your body. Let's start with your feet. I want you to let go all the pressure on it. Scan your legs now and release the tension on your legs. Scan now your womb space. Release the tension on the muscles in your belly, your stomach now, in your back. Release, let go all the tension on your back. Release the tension on your shoulders, on your throat, on your face, on the top of your head. I want you to go through a door now. You're gonna open this door, and this door gonna lead you to a safe space. What is a safe space for you? For some of us, is in a mountain. For others, might be on your mom's house. It can be at the beach. For some of us, is in a hug or in the bed next to your dog or cat. Where is your safe space? You open a door, and you just walk it inside your space. And from your safe space, you're gonna go through, gonna walk a little bit in the space, or you're just gonna stay still. But as you look up, you're gonna see a door in front of you. You try to open this door, but for some reason you can't open this door. Then you make a question. What is the key that opens this door? Give yourself a time to just observe what it's gonna be showing to you. Get this key and open the door. You're gonna walk through steps in front of you. And suddenly, you're gonna get into the entrance of a cave. This cave is your womb space. I want you to go inside of your womb now and just observe what has inside of it. There is someone, there is an energy, there is a spirit, there is something that talks to you inside of this cave, which is your womb. If so, you can make it questions. I want you to touch this space for inside. Is it hot? Is it cold? How it makes you to feel when you are inside of your own uterus? What is the smell of it? How do you feel being inside? Did you found any emotions? I want you to now ask for your uterus, for your womb. What are the messages that he wanna tells you? If you could hear it more frequently, more often. What are the needs of your womb so you can be healthy, so it can bring to you a healthy life? How can you create a strong relationship with yourself starting by your womb? Once you have those questions answered, you say thank you and you let part of you over there, I promise that you're gonna return to always check on its energy, to always gonna come back to receive knowledge, to receive information, intuition, and love. Now that you are full and surrounded by energy of love and you feel safe as you were inside of the womb of your mom, but this time it's from inside your own energy, you can start walking back, you can go out of the cave entrance, and you keep it going and walking a few more steps, and then you open the door that leads you to your safe space. You open another door and you're back on your heart center, and you take a deep breath to come back to your body now and grounding yourself. And on your time, you can open up your eyes. I want to know from everyone if you could have some informations on this meditation. How was it for everyone? Did you like it? I always love doing those types of meditations. It seems like it seems something like silly, but always, always, always brought to me so much wisdom, like from the inside of me. It always feels like it's sometimes when I go to visit like those spaces in inside myself, especially on my womb, sometimes as soon as I got inside my womb, it feels like, oh, you're here. I'm so glad you finally came to visit me. How you don't come here more often? I always have this feeling, and on today, I really felt like I was so protected, and it was so beautiful to realize that the feeling that I had was very similar, like being a womb, but like not my mom's womb, but like my own womb. That felt so safe for me. Not chance. I want to keep in the womb. You can come back there anytime. Someone Tachi say in the chat, like she felt like her womb was getting prepared for something when she observed it. Wow, special. Maybe it is. Our uterus, it is related to transformation. So, not only transformations, but also to create life. Not only like a baby's life, but a life for our projects, for our wishes, for everything that we want. It's very special. From the womb's energy that we bring things to this universe. Women's, we are portal to life. Okay, now that you finally meet your own womb, um, not to say that she felt overwhelmed with lots of emotions, she wanted to cry. Yes, Nachi, the womb is stored all our emotions. It is a it's literally where some no more most of our emotions are stored. It's inside of our uterus. And why? Because emotions, when we think on quantic energy, emotions they related to water. So water will will move energies, will move our emotions. All those emotions that go through the water, they mix it in the blood. And because we gonna have our period every other around 20 um we're gonna have our period in 28 days or 30 days because you're gonna have a period. Our uterus feels like works future. So all the emotions that were stored in our water, mix it in your blood and gonna go and gonna be filtered by your uterus. When we gonna when our menstruation comes, is a moment to release some of those emotions. But if you have attachment to your emotions, if you um, if you for some reason you're not digesting those emotions, you're not going through those emotions, they're gonna be stored inside of your uterus. That's why some of you maybe experience this excess of emotions when you went inside of your uterus. I understand it's overwhelming and I understand it's sad, but it's also important that you realize that you went there, that you check it, how is the situation, emotionally situation inside of your uterus. There are things you can do, like the right of the womb, but like do the 13 moons, the prayer for cleaning your uterus. It's that the right of the womb prayer that we do. You haven't been to the right of the womb before, so if you do for 13 months, it's exactly those emotions that you're cleaning, that you're releasing. So I do recommend you to do it since you have received the prayer already. Do it more often. Let's keep it going. Okay. If you want to activate your feminine energy, uh, before starting to try to activate your feminine energy, there are some belief systems that I want to work through with you about what sacred feminine means. So you understand that those things are not. They're taking you away from activating. And it's very, very, very common mistakes to happen. So I see lots of women and men too confusing. The sacred feminine path is about becoming hippie, not cutting your hairs, not shaving anymore. No, it's not about it. You can be hippie. Yes, you can. I like it. I want to be a little bit more hippie than what I am. But it doesn't mean that every woman that is on the sacred feminine path has to be. I personally hate not being shaved. I feel good with myself. I feel empowered in my own body if I'm shaved. But there are many women that practice it. sacred feminine and they don't shave. It's their choices. It's not because some people are doing this choice, they have to do this choice as well. I know many, many um, high society women that they practice sacred feminine and they are achieving very good goals in their life. They are happy. They are empowered. Being empowered, being the sacred feminine path, it doesn't matter if you're gonna use long skirts or if you're gonna use high heels. It's up to you. But I myself personally don't like high heels. And that was very, very it brought me a lot of freedom when I accepted that I hate and I will not use high heels just because that would make me to look like a it was a blessing in my life when I let go the high heels. But for some people, it's what makes them to feel empowered, and that's completely fine. The other thing that people confuse is when they think about sacred feminine, they confuse the fact that they know how to count the days on her menstruation. They confuse it as they know their period. And again, here I am. In the past, I got pregnant because I thought I knew my period. I thought that counting days would tell me exactly if I would be fertile or no, if I was dangerous days of my period or not. And I made this mistake and I got pregnant. So counting the days of your period doesn't make you to know your body. It's just counting days. Someday told you, but it's not safe. Okay. And another belief system that people confuse a lot is sacred feminine versus feminine. Here it is a very dangerous conversation, very tricky one. I am extremely grateful for feminine. Okay? I am grateful for all the women that fight so we could have access to knowledge, so I could express myself as I'm expressing nowadays. I am really, really grateful, and I do think we should keep it going with some of the fights we fight with feminists. Okay, but one thing it's not related to the other thing. When we get a woman that she tells me, "I hate men. Man is the demon in the universe. Oh, I don't want a man in my life. I don't want a man in my house because man's this and man's that." That means that this woman is still on her wound. This woman do not have her feminine energy healed. She's still on her wound. So, can you see the difference? Uh, inside the sacred feminine, we believe in a system where everyone get along. It doesn't mean that I need to accept that it's not good for me. It doesn't mean that I need to let people take advantage from me. It doesn't mean none of those things. But I see all the humans around me as important humans for my development. Does it make sense? And if someone has a different opinion, I'm really open to discuss about it. But I really want everyone to understand the secret family is not the same as feminism. Again, I appreciate all all the steps, all the path that feminism open to us. But sacred feminine is nothing compared to feminism. Sacred feminine is about learning to love our feminine energy. Sacred feminine is about learning to work with the feminine energy. The feminine energy is what? It's a well, it's this thing like that opens and hugs everything and everyone around us. It's about community, it's about sisterhood, it's about love. Love is something that really, really comes it's very strong from feminine energy. And women have an feminine energy inside of us. So sacred feminine is even for men that wants to learn about the feminine energy. And as human beings, we have yin and yang, masculine and feminine energy. For years, I acted much more on my masculine energy. For years. At some point, my mom even thought I was lesbian because I was so, like so much masculine on my life. So everyone has both energies, okay? And now let's talk about 7 steps to activate your feminine essence. And together with this, we're gonna learn about menstrual cycle, okay? Anyone has any questions for now so far? I'm drinking my cacao. Especially because I am about to have my period. So cacao with no sugar. It's a blessing. Okay, no questions then. I want cacao. Not to come if you're not far away from my house, you can stop by and have cacao. Somebody, you live super close. Come, there is more cacao downstairs. Um, so 7 steps to activate your feminine energy. And in the middle of it all, we're gonna talk about our menstrual cycle. Sacred routine is the first thing. I'm cramping too. I'm about to get my period. Oh. Jess, I wish I could send you cacao over the mail, but it won't get there. Good. We still don't have the ability. We still don't have the ability to transfer energetically. Still. Um, Natch, after the live, I text you. I won't share here. I'm online on YouTube where I live. So let's go. 7 steps to activate our feminine energy, our feminine essence. First one, number one, if you want to become one with your feminine energy, you need to create connection with the divine. How do I do it, Mila? Every day you create a routine to just sit with whatever you believe is sacred. Some people calls it a god, some people calls it a creator, some people calls it as your higher self. Some people has connection with Saint Germain. Whatever you're gonna, whatever is above you that you respect, you're gonna create a relationship. Inside Sacred Feminine, we talk a lot about the feminine face of God, the feminine face of the Creator, which is what we call the goddess. So every day, create a sacred routine with the divine. How can you do this? For some people, it's sitting and journaling. For some people, it's just sitting on meditation. For um, some people is even like doing sports. For some people, like going to the gym every day is so sacred because that will make their mood to be more uh, balanced and they will be better persons. That can be a sacred routine. It is something like you're not gonna let go for anyone else, especially for a man. So let's suppose you are in a routine that every day you do yoga class And that is your moment of centering of the divine, your moment to look into yourself as a divine. And then you decide, that's how you start dating a new person. And for some reason, you remove the yoga class from your routine. You can like to activate, to be in connection with your feminine energy. There are some routines that you won't let go for anyone else because you're filling up your own cup. Does it make sense? Does anyone has a routine like this? My sacred routine is more at 9 before I go to sleep, because then I'm gonna write some insights that I had during the day. I will track my period, and I will also go to my steps, what I did good, what I did wrong, what I can do better. And I do have my spiritual belief system. So I also see it with my spiritual belief system. It's not necessarily to go every week somewhere else. It can be on nature. It doesn't matter what you do, but it's something that you do with consistency. You wanna go for anyone else, especially for a man. Another thing that comes here, sacred routine is tracking your cycle. Why? Why track your cycle? Because if you track your cycle, you're gonna know when you're gonna be fertile. You know that you need to avoid some situations. You know when you're gonna PMS. You know when you're gonna have your period, and then you probably will want to just be at home. Uh, so probably whatever the plan you created, and then will fall on the day that you're gonna be bleeding, are gonna cancel. So you know. And we have basically 4 steps, 4 phases in our cycle, okay? First one is follicular, which is right after you have your menstruation. As soon as the blood is stopping, you're gonna have your follicular phase, which is when you have more estrogen growing inside of your womb. We're gonna talk more about like every details phase, but just so you understand, it's a moment that your energy levels are going high. The second phase is the ovulatory phase. It can take from 6 days, 48 hours to 6 days. And it's a moment where you are releasing your egg. This moment you're glowing. You're attracting all the eyes around you, people in the streets, you attracting all the eyes for you glowing. You call attention whatever you have the feeling like you can do everything. And then you have your luteinical phase, which is all the hormones start to crash. So you start to feel irritated. You start to feel in a bad mood. You start to feel swollen. You start to create problems with all your friends, you start to create problems with your partner, if you have a partner. It's just like everything's so messy and you feel so angry. That's PMS. That's luteal phase. Then we have our menstrual phase, which is when we are actually bleeding. In this phase, we just want a hug, but at the same time we want a hug, we don't want close to us. We want um, everything at the same time we want anything. But this is a moment that we're supposed to just be inside of our cave, exploring what has inside of us. I am strange, and I like to be inside my cave, and I like to clean my cave. Normally, women don't feel energy to do much, but I normally clean my house, clean my closets, and everything else. So you see, but you're gonna track like that's one of the importance of tracking your cycle because you're gonna see exactly you can prepare yourself, you can prepare your life to what I'm gonna do each time of my And step two to activate your feminine energy is to study. What I'm gonna study about body, mind, spirit. You activate your feminine energy when you learn what happens inside of your uterus at each phase of a cycle. You activate your feminine energy when you understand what goes through inside your subconscious. Why you act as you be, why you are the person you are today. Like when you understand, you can deeply connect with parts of your soul. When you study your mind, when you study your subconscious, you can connect with parts of your soul that will bring you the feeling of fulfillment. And spirit is studying about the spirituality, especially us women. We are the ones that we were like supposed to be in front of the spiritual pathways of humanity. If you look back in the past, men would go to hunt and to provide and to bring food inside our house. Women would stay inside the tribe, and women would be taking care of the health of those people. Women would be taking care of the spirituality. Women would be organizing and leading ceremonies. That is a natural. So whatever you connect with your spirit, whatever you study about the spirituality, you are connecting with this feminine essence inside of you. And which phase of your menstrual phase, by menstrual phase, you're gonna have different studies to do. When, for example, if you are on your follicular phase, more things that you can practice, if you put more your hands, like it's a study that you can do it with your hands. If you are on an ovulatory phase, I like to set things to empower myself, like mindset stuff, to set up a very empowered, um, mindset for myself. If I am on my PMS phase, I like to spend more myself. Like I like journaling more and self-talk. And on the menstrual phase is when I like to study more about the spirituality. Let's go for the third step. Any questions so far? If you have any questions, please text me on the YouTube channel or third step, your words. Your words and whatever you talk or you don't talk can activate your feminine energy. Why? First, women love speaking. We speak, especially if we are in a group. Uh, it feels like something is start. It feels like someone pressed a button, and we just start, and we start speaking. We never stop speaking. Um, when that happened, we mess it up the energy a little bit. So if you want to activate your feminine energy using your words, you will start to practice active listening, which is you listen by creating a safe space by the person in front of you to just say whatever she needs to say. And because you practice active listening and people around you learns about it, they also gonna become a safe space for you to speak when it's your turn, when it's you in need of having a conversation with a woman in a very legitimate space, in this place of really being listened. And anytime a woman is speaking, we are also hearing ourselves. We have two ears and one mouth. So every time we speak something, we listen. And as we listen, we also learning about whatever has inside of us. So we are reconnecting with our body, and reconnecting with our body connects us with our feminine essence. Other reason to be more mindful about your words. You don't need to justify. In Brazil, we have this like, oh, if you're pregnant, don't tell people that you're pregnant. If you just start dating, don't tell anyone you just start dating because people will put bad energies inside, like on top of your relationship. People will put bad energies about your pregnant. And then I grew up with this idea that I had this teacher. She was teacher when I was studying traditional Chinese medicine, and she was a women's health teacher. Like I was learning how to acupuncture for women to get pregnant when they were pregnant and for the Labor Day. So I was studying exactly and specifically it with this teacher. Unfortunately, she even passed away. She had breast cancer. She passed away this year. But one day I heard some phrase from her that really touched me and I never ever forgot. It's not that speaking, it's not because saying you're pregnant or that you just started a new relationship or you just started a new job will make the baby to die inside of your womb or your relationship to end. It's our words, even though it's very powerful, uh, someone else energy, bad energy, God wouldn't be that nice if He would allow just like some envy to come back in our baby in the womb and kill the baby or end the relationship. That wouldn't be fair. But the problem is, if you don't announce things when they were just in the beginning, you also don't need to explain those things. Like, let's suppose that for some mystery of life, you lose a child. You don't have to explain to anyone else that you lose a child. If your relationship is get to an end, you don't have people asking you about what happened. You don't have to explain yourself, and that saves you energy to do whatever you need. So it saves you energy for other important things in your life. Does it make sense? And what we're gonna communicate by each phase in our cycle. Um, there are ways to communicate, especially our needs. Learning about the four phases of your cycle will help you to communicate your needs. For example, when I am PMSing, I get angry and I need much more space and silence. It's one of my needs. With PMSing, I need more silence because not too much noise disturbs my mind. So if I know I'm PMSing, I can get to my roommates, I can tell my partner, I can tell my kid, and I do tell my kid. My son is only 4 years old, and I do explain to him. I say, "Man, mom is PMSing right now. I know you don't understand, but you will understand at some point. And when mom is PMSing, mom likes more kindness. So can we not listen your crazy music when as soon as we woke up and we're driving to start our day, so I can communicate better my needs even for my child, 4 years old. I can communicate better for my friends. Hey, I'm PMSing. I might take something special. Can we have this conversation later? Uh, when I am ovulating, I can tell my friends, I'm ovulating. Don't let me do mess. Don't let me mess because I'm ovulating. So whatever I tell you, if I tell you that, just fall in love. Remember me. I am on my ovulatory phase. To not take for seriously until my PMS and next menstruation. So I can communicate. Does it make sense for Fourth step to activate feminine energy. Any questions, ask me in the fourth, fourth step. Give more. As women, we are naturally community builders. We are naturally able to give. We give life. We give love. We give energy. We give ideas. All those things start from us. They flow from us. But there is one trick here that can mess it up all your feminine sense activation. If you give and give and give and give and give and you're not having your cup filled in, you're not being good to yourself. As women, we are givers. Yes, we are. We are givers from what we have. If you have emptiness inside of you, then you're gonna call this emptiness passion. You're gonna think you love someone, but actually you just need someone. Don't confuse. We can only give whatever we have in abundance. Feminine energy is also about abundance. So, first, even though love to think in a group, even though we love to create communities, fill your cup first. How do you fill your cup? Go back to step one, go back to step two, save energy on step three, and then we're gonna have more steps following in the next slide that also can help you to fill it up your cup. And don't forget that even though we are community builders, we have to balance our social life with our menstrual phase. When you understand that when you bleed, you're probably gonna need more self-time and being alone, and you respect and you honor that, you activating your feminine energy, you are filling up your cup so you can give even more and even better when you are together with friends first because you're more present, because your cup is full. Lack of control is a number 5. Ugh, that's so hard for me. So hard. I feel like those last 3, those 5, 6, and 7, they were the hardest steps for me to work through. Let go the control. How do I do it? Right? Does anyone relate to this? Yeah. It's something that was very, very hard for me, but now I'm dealing much better with this. To let go control, to activate the feminine energy is to understand that we are cyclical. And even though you can create a routine for your life, even though you can plan your life, you also need to have balance with dancing through life. So to understand that even though you have your agenda, your schedule, that 6 o'clock, you're gonna wake up, 7 o'clock, you're gonna be out of work, driving for work, 8 o'clock, you're gonna be at work, 12 p.m., you have a break and you're gonna go for your yoga class. You need to understand that life is not linear. You need to understand as a woman, we dance. So if you normally go at 12 for your yoga class and for some reason it's raining too much and your intuition tells you to go, please dance through life. Learn how to. There is this book that is based from my work, which is Run with the Wolves from Clarice Engel's. And she talks a lot about understanding that life is about cycles, and she use this big cycle as dying, dying. Uh, what she means with this cycle is that everything has a begin, it will have a middle, and will have an everything's cyclical. Here, if you live in Massachusetts, as I am, live in a place where you can have 4 seasons, it's a dance. One season gets to end, so another season can start. A relationship ends, so another relationship can start. A work, you lose a job because you have a different job coming through. Life is a dance. And as a woman, for activating the feminine essence, we need to learn this dance. We need to learn the dancing of our hormones. We need to learn the dance of the seasons. We need to dance. We need to learn the dance of the phases of our life. I am a girl, then I become a teenager, then I become an old woman, then I become a mom, then I will become a more mature woman, then at some point my period will end and I'm gonna be menopausal. And then I will become this old lady with gray hair that knows to talk with the young kids. So it's a dance. So I don't practice too much dancing, but my friend Paloma, she's really, really, really talking about dance. Good dancing every day on my routine. And in these days I was preparing the webinar, I did dance a little because as I was working too many hours and too much like creating a structure for everything, dancing helped me to don't be stuck. Also, my other friend, Maria Carol, she also loves dancing. She speaks a lot about dancing and how much dancing can even let go emotions, especially our uterus. For the I was talking about how many emotions she found on her uterus. Dancing probably gonna also be helpful for you to let go of those emotions. Um, Sixth step to activate feminine energy is pleasure. And here, it's not only about sexual pleasure, but we also gonna talk about this. It's about pleasure in life. If you activate your masculine energy, and I've been there. When you are on your masculine energy, we have this energy of doing, 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 producing, producing, being fast, being quick. And you're gonna work out, you're gonna take care of the house, you're gonna work, you're gonna create, you're gonna study, you're gonna, like is a feminine energy that comes to tell, hey, can we go for a hike? Hey, can we stop a little bit and watch a movie and do nothing and rest? Resting. Resting is also a way to activate feminine energy. Stillness. If you do allow yourself to have happiness, to have joy, to have hobbies in your life, and to have sexual pleasure, you are activating energy on your sacral chakra, which is where all the energy for life starts. You need energy from your sacral chakra to have fuel for life happens. Does it make sense? And you activate that with all those things that I just mentioned: happiness, joy, hobbies, sex, pleasure. So, but it doesn't mean, okay, that you need to focus all your life on that part. Because if you focus all your life on that part, you're gonna be forgetting all the other 5 steps that came. There is a reason that I started in the sequence that I feminine energy is activated from chakra to the root chakra. Millions of lives started to activate their energy, their masculine energy, from the root chakra to the crown chakra. But as women, it is from here down. And of course, our libido will be different by each phases of our life. The girl phase, the particular phase, do have some libido. Actually, we do have a lot of libido. It's very imaginative. Is this like creative ideas? And then when we are playing, is when I have the most. That is natural because humanity needs to happen and it needs this energy to happen. So, of course, when we are in our evolution phase, we have a much higher libido. And also, that is the reason why some women just fall in love with any person that they saw in the bar because their libido is high and because they are and they're probably gonna pass. But this is a physiological. So that's why we always need to be in the state of observing, the state of being meditating about our own life, observing ourselves first, because in a few days, anything that you felt or thought today might change. It was based only on your hormone. And the seventh and last step to activate your femininity is, which was also hard for me, especially because I always had this masculine energy very high. It is to activate femininity. The last one is not. And here again, I'm not talking is only about sexual energy. I'm also talking about manifestation, life. When a woman works on other steps from here down, it's easy for her to manifest anything she wants. And you can even use your power of manifestation as something to check on how much connected with your body. I have friends here and they are watching the live. I remember a few weeks ago we were really, really working on our feminine energy, and some of them, well, they talked how much she wanted to eat strawberries. And then someone got inside her house in the same day with a box of strawberries. That means that she is very connected with her energy. That means that she's not hunting. She had this idea like, I want strawberries. And even without saying anything, the strawberries came to her. Here is the same in the relationship. I'm not saying that you cannot hunt. I like it too. I'm saying is for activating the feminine energy to stay in the feminine energy, we wait that the things comes. As more as we are in the feminine energy, more the things comes to us. Doesn't mean that I need to be this person forever and ever. No, you can be whatever you I am whatever I want. It doesn't matter when I want to be. We can flow. Remember, I say we have masculine, we have feminine energy. You pick where you're gonna be. But here we talk about how to activate the feminine energy, how to be one with the sense of feminine energy. So if you want to activate this energy, if you want to bring it closer to your life, those are 7 steps that I brought here. Questions about this part? Paloma say, let's move our Kundalini. Yoo-hoo! Brittany said, I love it. I love guided meditation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for doing the meditation together with me. If you sign up for this webinar, if you put your number and your email, you're gonna receive the link so you can watch the stuff again. But you had to sign up. You had to have signed up before. And I think already on the description of the video already has the Delete. Sip, and let's go for next step. Okay, let's see very quickly what we learned. We learned that what it's not sacred feminine. It's not sacred feminine to think that because you are activating your feminine energy, you need to be hippie and have a hair over your body. Again, you can be a hippie and you can have hair. I love being hippie. I want I have a picture of myself that I'm much more hippie than what I look like, so it's something that I'm gonna work through for the next years. But I personally feel good not having hair on my body. I like it and I feel happy. Like some women feel happy using um, long scarves, and some women like and feel empowered by using blazer. Both of them can work at the same time. Uh, Again, it's not sacred feminine and it's not knowing your period if you think that counting your days you can predict it which phase of your cycle you are. So that's not a truth. And the third true is the third wrong is sacred feminine is not feminine. Again, feminism is very, very important, especially even though for me to be able to be speaking here as I am, to have the privilege to do my life, to be single mom, I'm very grateful for. But feminism is not sacred feminine. They work together, but not the same. And then 7 steps for activating the feminine essence. Yes, yes, 7. I'm like, am I using the right number of fingers? First, creating sacred routines. 2, studying body, mind, and spirit. Third, being mindful about your words. Fourth, giving more, giving, giving energy before making sure your cup is full. Fifth, um, what? Let go control. Of course, is that hard for me? I even need to go back and check this slide. But letting go control, it is a way to activate the feminine energy. Sixth, pleasure, having pleasure in life. And seven, it is not hunting. It is activating the manifestation power in our life. Um, I wish I could speak for much longer than this. Unfortunately, like it's too much. Unfortunately, no, it's too much knowledge. It's too much things that and I like talking. As I say, as a woman, I love talking. I could be here talking and talking and talking for hours. But unfortunately, an online class, video on YouTube, it's not possible to just have like a whole day talking. For this reason is why I created a whole class about sacred feminine. But let me tell you I really like talking, and I really love the subject about sacred feminine. That when I started writing those classes, I wrote for like so much. It was such a huge class. And when I show it the girls that are my girlfriends, I start showing for some of them, and they were like, "Oh, I wouldn't watch. I would start and I wouldn't finish because it's too much, too much." So what I did for solving the situation was I break in 3 pieces. And this first class that I'm putting online now, it's only exclusive about inner cycles. So I split in 3. Everything that I wrote about sacred feminine. The first step is the one that it's available now. Is about inner cycles. And why I start with inner cycles? There is no way for a woman, there is no way for a being to understand mysteries of the universe, to understand God and the goddess's face, if we don't understand the basic, very basic of our body. Does it make sense? Like, there's no way. So the door that we're gonna open to get inside this journey, it is our own cycles. So it is learning about what happens inside here, this box, especially on my womb, my hormones, and how they all connect with my brain, how they interfere in my life, how they interfere in my relationships. So here I'm here to invite you to go for next level. If after everything that I told you, you understood the importance of understanding about your hormones, about the importance of understanding your own body, your emotions. If we, watching all those classes so far, you learned that how important it is this for your life. I really invite you to be part in our new community, which is a Sacred Woman Inner Cycles. So it is this class that I recorded, and let's talk about how it is. So the structure is we're gonna have 6 modules and some meditations in these classes. The first module is about introduction. So I will explain and I will level up all our knowledge about sacred feminine with meditations, with stories about women's, how all these connections started. There's a lot of stories about sacred feminine. Let me tell you why there are all those stories being recorded. If we go back in the past, women never could have their knowledge recorded. All the books that a woman wrote, they were burned because they would be seen as a witches, or like there's so much oppression on this part that for me now being able to record all the knowledge that I received, and again, I did build all this knowledge by myself. I never had someone like really guiding me. I went through so many different places to put everything together as it is now. So for me, it's a blessing. I feel like so honored that I could have this recorded and organize it in a way that you don't need to go through the same thing as I did. Like it is there, step by step. The knowledge being built up step by step. Second, I start talking about the modules. First one is introductions. The second one, you're gonna learn about your hormonal and your emotional cycles. There is classes over there explaining step by step which hormone is released by any phase, or if it's released by our hypophysis, if it's released by the ovaries. Each step is drawing that. It's like I chew it out for everyone to understand. What happens in the ovarians? There is a class explaining this. What happens to the womb when I am with this hormone, when I'm on the other hormone? What happens to my emotions? Everything like very fluent as I was doing it for a baby, not for a baby, but for someone that I care. I made that in a way that you really could understand as myself and my family in on my giving. I create that with very love so you can really understand it. Especially because it's a knowledge that a lot of us did never receive. At least I went to veterinary school for a few years, so I learned about the magical language. But I understand not everyone understand about the magical language. That's why I created in a way, like you can see when you're watching the classes, like I put in a way that you really can understand. I create connections with nature so you can understand what's happening inside your own body. The module 3 is about controlling and tracking our cycle. and you're gonna see all the things that you should pay attention your month to be tracking your cycle. And again, it's not about just counting the days. You might be in trouble. You can put yourself in trouble if you're only counting days. Module 4, it's about managing PMS. There's many tricks over there, many information about how you can. It's not saying that you won't feel PMS, but you're gonna be on top of it. You're gonna PMS, but you're gonna know your PMS, and you're gonna be controlling it. You're gonna be leading the way, as I said at the beginning of this presentation. I decided not being a victim. Instead of say, "Oh, I'm PMS, life is sucks," I learned what to do, so I could just say, "Oh, I'm PMSing. I'm gonna drink cacao. I'm gonna do some exercise. I will find a way to have some orgasm." So there is a pathway over there where you're gonna learn how to overcome PMS. What woman don't want to learn about how to manage PMS? For God's sake, I wish someone had told me this years before. Um, the module 5 is about understanding your menstruation. Is about really create creating a new relationship with the fact that you are menstruating. And the sixth module, which is one of my favorites, about natural gynecology. So you're gonna learn how to treat naturally yeast infection, bacterial infections, uh, ovarian polycystic ovarians, and many other things. There are recipes there with essential oils, with uh, garlic. There are many, many things that every single woman should know. And I don't understand why, I don't understand why it feels like people don't really talk about those things. I not even shouldn't need to create classes about it. It should be something that naturally every woman would know. And I understand that the women that are part of my community here, they have lots of knowledge about it because we do talk a lot about those things. But also, this type of knowledge should be something that tribes by tribes would pass along. But since we got lost and since we got disconnected from this connection with our body, that's why I created those classes. How? How can you see those classes? So it's everything recorded and everything is gonna be online in a platform. Um, and you can see and can watch it on the comfort of your life, in the comfort of your existence. If you wanna watch when you're driving, you can. If you wanna watch when you're home, so you can also write down and put on your insights in a paper, you can. If you have kids and your life is very busy, you can watch the classes while you're showering your kid. Because it is recorded, it's much easier. Here in USA, we have, lots of this problem. "Oh, I cannot go to the right of the womb on Saturdays because I work until 5. I cannot go to Casa das Rosas because, it's too far and I will get too much traffic." So, online, that's why I'm exploring the online universe. We can get together on our own time. You can learn on your own time. And we're just about to start fall and to start winter. What isn't the best thing that have something to learn to set about your own self and you can do it on your own time? I understand summer is a time that we have too many things to do, but I one thing that I do in my life is I always let fall and in winter to study. So then when it's spring, I can come up out of my cave with all my new learnings. And when can you watch those class? As soon, maybe if it's not already there, I will put once I finish this presentation. I will put the link so you can access the page of the classes more space for more questions, with more space for so you can check everything that has in there. But everything is recorded then already. I recorded and close to the Easter, and everything is being edited. Module 1 and 2 are already online. And as soon as you started, as soon as you log in, you can have like already few hours, few classes to watch. But we're gonna be adding one class extra by week until everything is there. Okay? Why is taking longer? Because all those classes are very, very, very special. They have lots of information, details, graphics. So everything was made with so much love, and we are also putting the same love on the editions. If you've been watching stories, you already saw a few steps to like glimpses of it. Bonus! Of course, you're gonna have a bonus, especially because you're here watching me so far. One thing that I really believe it is in the contact, it's the information. It is in this changing that we have in here now. So when I started thinking about creating these online classes, one thing that I struggle was I love community. I love sisterhood. I love being like part of something. I love this changing. And whatever I wanted to offer as bonus is based on this energy and this exchange of energy and this communication exchange. I don't want to just like put classes there online and you watch and you do it by yourself and it's your problem. However, you're gonna deal with this, or if you have questions, someone's gonna answer you an email in 8 days. No, I really don't. I'm really not looking for this as I put on my classes. I want everyone to have a more freedom to experience the classes, but I also want to have a point where we connect. So as bonus, every month if you're part of the journey in the sacred Woman journey, inner cycles, every month we're gonna have a Zoom call for all the students where we're gonna be there talking whatever questions you have. And there's so many, as I say, there's so much things I wanna teach everyone. It's so many things. So once in a month, we're gonna have this online meetings where you can bring it up, all your questions, and then we can even discuss um, situations like if you're going through some change in your cycle, if you're going through, if you wanna to go deep in something that is still not there, we can be talking in these online meetings. And also I can bring more subjects. So if you don't have many questions, which I don't think you're gonna have lots of questions because I really made everything with a lot of love, but then I can add more and more and more content for everyone that is part of the journey. And also a community. We're gonna have a WhatsApp group and a Facebook group where I'm gonna be sharing like all the new recipes for whatever relation to our menstrual cycle, where I'm gonna be sharing all the astrological changes in the moon that might be affecting your cycle. And it's also a space, as on my in-person events, it's gonna be a space where you also can bring things for the group. That's how a community works. And the energy exchange, it's very, very possible. If you added up everything that I said individually in all the years, you're also gonna see that I captured myself in one of my pillars, which is I want information and knowledge to be accessible for everyone. I had to pay traditional Chinese medicine instead of 5 years. I made one class and two post-graduations of traditional Chinese medicine, all of them focused on women's health. I studied reproduction at college. I said almost a year of Sacred Family and paying a master that I had. I had a year extra of shamanism classes. Look how much investment I did. And all the information was like split. So I got everything together, all those years of study, all those different classes. If you would start now, you would take, I started this path was 2014. We are 2024. 10 years. So I got 10 years of a stud that I have, and I put in something that you can be able to learn in like 12 weeks, and you're gonna really learn. And the energy exchange that I think is fair. It's fair for me, and it's also possible for everyone else. It's 341 if you pay full price, but you also have the option to use your credit card and pay 3 times of 122.37 cents. Look, if you come for a retreat, it's much more, and it's much more expensive. It's like almost double the price, and this is half of the price of retreat, and you're gonna have knowledge for studying like the whole year, and really gonna build up knowledge and information in your life. Also, it's again all those years of study that you're receiving for almost nothing, but something important. This price is just because this is the first time I'm launching classes online. I really want on those classes only women that really gonna study, they're really gonna communicate with me, they're really gonna brings me your questions, you're really gonna be participative, you're really gonna honor everything you're learning because then I can also improve and make it better and better and better year by year, class by class. There is much more I want to record about the Sacred Family universe. So I also looking for women that really will study, that really will honor those classes. And that's why I'm making this prize because I want to have the people that really want to be there with me. And there is also some guarantees. First of all is 7 days. If in 7 days you think you look alike, you open the classes, let's suppose you buy it today, and you search it online and you start looking and say, "Oh, it's not really what I was thinking it would be." You have 7 days to have your money back. With no conversation, no questions, you just request your money back. But if you after 7 days, you are studying and you don't really notice differences in your life, you didn't learn how to apply it all, for some reason you have difficulty on it, I am sure that won't happen because there is a lot of information there that can really change your life. But let's suppose for some reason you started and that wasn't helpful for you, or you also can have your money back. But before this, you're also gonna have the opportunity to have a personal one-on-one um, session with me where I can see with you. We check point by point of what's going on with your cycle, what's happening with your life. I'm also a therapist, so I'm also gonna be able to offer you this help during your process of study. And even though after all this, you went to the classes, you had this one-on-one consultation with me, and even though you say, "Mila, that's not what I want, it didn't change my life, didn't help me anyways," okay, you not only gonna have your money back, as I also gonna be giving you $134 extra, just because I really, really believe on what I that transformed my life. So I know all the information that will bring for you. Now you have 3 options after everything that I said. After 1 hour 1 hour and 49 minutes of class, plus all the other lives we did. You can still think that I'm crazy and it's all bullshit, and you can just like turn off this call, turn off this live and say, "Oh, she's crazy," and that's it. You can also try do everything by yourself, which is option. I did. I did learning mostly everything by myself. I was like picking information from different places. I did by myself, but it took me 10 years. It took me 10 years to me to become the woman I am now, to become a woman that I literally love being a woman. Right now, I'm PMSing. I already feeling some signs of cramp, and I'm looking forward to have a period. I am like, I really wish I was going to be in today on how much it changed my relationship to myself. So if you want to do it yourself, you can, but it might take 10 years as it took for me. But you is an option. Or you can join the community and we can all be together as sacred and help each other and growing together. It's also in case you want to join for the classes. When I turn off everything here, I'm gonna be posting the link for the classes so you can check and and see how it is on the YouTube descriptions. No, descriptions no. I think I'm gonna put it on the I'm also gonna be sending the link on so you can have access to it. And that's it. Thank you for today. I really, really, really appreciate everyone being here. I am so honored, so happy that we have you all here and talking. Um, so that was a blessing for me. I really enjoy it. All this process of creating this webinar, being here, teaching, that just makes my life very, very happy. I'm very happy and very with the feeling of fulfillment. So I'm even more happier to see you in the classes and starting this journey together with me. And I'm already very happy. So I really appreciate everyone here. Uh, first, before I go, anyone has any question? I forgot to ask if people has questions. If okay, no questions here on the Facebook, on the what Instagram. Okay, people. Good night, everyone. Love you and see you soon. Thank you for joining me in this journey that we had together so far. See you.